Enraged that Kim Kardashian is producing the television story of Elizabeth Taylor's life. Riddle me this. She's producing, not starring in it, right? So she's just purchased the rights to tell the story of Elizabeth Taylor's life. Now, I guess people are saying, like, why can't she just leave things alone? Because I guess maybe Elizabeth Taylor might not want Kim Kardashian to tell the story of her life, or maybe her family might not want that. It's interesting that it was available for purchase, which many things are. But she's a producer who decided to tell the story. People could tell a story about anyone from Hitler to Gandhi to any story. So where is the exact problem? I just want to hear you and understand you. I think it's because you think that she can't like leave well enough alone, and these are like Hollywood iconic, cherished things like Marilyn Monroe, and she has to kind of exploit them. But just riddle me this. People like Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor had incredible, enormous fame. And I'm sure had there been social media, then they did some things that were untoward as well, whether or not Marilyn Monroe had an affair with JFK or Elizabeth Taylor got married and divorced 17 times. Exaggeration. So I just want to hear exactly what you think and why this is such an extraordinary issue. I just want to be educated. I don't think I'm going to be better at exercise this year than I was last year. And let me explain to you why. Because I don't choose to exercise. And I know that we have to exercise and it gets our heart rate up, etc. I do so many steps. I'll do more steps around my house than other people do at the gym. I'm always moving. And that's an excuse that I say, which is true. It's a true excuse. That's an excuse that I tell so I don't beat myself up about the fact that I don't exercise. But here's the thing. I choose sleep first. And I'm not a massive sleeper, but like I'm not a person that would ever get myself up to exercise. Like, what? Wait a minute. Sleep is like, you're going to tell me I'm supposed to like wake myself up, set some sort of alarm? That I would never do. Like, that's a criminal thing. You wake me up when I'm sleeping, we're going to have words because I'm not a big sleeper. But if I am sleeping, hell hath no fury, then someone waking me up. Like, no, thank you. Just looking for an earring that I've lost that will consume the rest of my day. Thank you very much. I don't want to be like rushing to somewhere else, and I usually have to get to meetings and have stuff to do for work. So like I get into that. And the only time I can really exercise is if I'm away on a vacation and I don't have things to do. Like I could wake up and be like, oh, there's the ocean and the beach and the sand, and I'll take a walk. That's the best I could do. I don't want to set myself up for any unrealistic expectations. I'm just not going to do it. And then I know a lot of people that exercise, they're always like worried and obsessed by it. And like they get freaked out if they're not doing it. Like they have to think about it. What's going to happen at the hotel? And like, are they going to have it for me? And then they freak out. And that seems very stressful. And I don't want that kind of stress. I have enough. Whether in a relationship or not, we are all alone. And that should not be sad. That should be liberating, because it's your own journey that you're on. You're not on someone else's journey. And sometimes people try to pull you onto their journey, or something that's going wrong with them, or some shortcoming or insecurity that they're experiencing. They dump onto you. If they feel insecure about something going on in their lives, they might want you to try to fill that void. And you can't fill that void. Only someone can fill their own void and be a whole, full person. People can support each other, but you can't dump your side of the street on someone else. Everyone has to own their own side of the street. And then you become a full person, and then you can have a successful relationship with another full person. Now, each person can be evolving and changing, and people shift, and people have different goals, and people go in different directions. But ultimately speaking, you can't control what another person says or does. You can't change another person. You can only control your side of the street. And I think that's just such a great message, because it's so liberating, because function and work on yourself. You don't dumb it down to make someone feel better, and you don't try to make yourself bigger and better, to make someone else feel worse. You just got to be on your own path, on your own journey, on your own side of the street, being very clear about what that side of the street entails. Whether in a relationship or not, I want to tell you about what a Franken watch is. Okay, this is a Rolex Daytona, an elite watch, and this is an elite of the elite watch. Why? Because it's in platinum, and most Daytonas are either stainless or yellow gold. And some scam artists make this with stainless and make it into some like Franken watch, which I'll get into, but the legit ones are heavier, they're platinum, and they're elite because of it, and because of this design with this chocolate bezel and this ice blue face. And if you want to get more elite, it's got diamond markers. So I like things that are very unique and collectible. Okay, let's talk about a Franken watch. So years ago, I bought a Ballon Bleu Cartier watch, and I had it for years, and I loved it, and I wore it. And then I was either like trading it or fixing it, I forget, but my watch guy said to me, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. He said, the pieces inside, it's all made from Cartier parts, but it's not really Cartier. So it was like, yes, it's a Cartier band. Yes, it's a Cartier glass. But it was like all these different pieces, and it did have real diamonds, but it wasn't put together. The recipe wasn't made that way from Cartier. It was like someone took different parts of a car and put them together. So it looks like a Mercedes, but Mercedes didn't make it. That's a Franken watch. And it's funny because on reality TV, a Franken bite is when they put together a bunch of little words together and edit it together to sound like you said that, even though you didn't say that. That's a Franken bite, and they're allowed to do that. And don't ever buy a Franken watch. Don't buy aftermarket. Don't buy like stainless with diamonds if it wasn't made that way. So I just thought that was an interesting story about Franken bites and Franken watches.